Hello, good morning. Okay. I was poking around for some drawing paper because I was going to continue working on that Sierra style point and click adventure game, or not RPG, adventure point and clicker. And I stumbled on this abandoned sketch pad. It looks like I only got a couple pages into it, but I started to use it for some brainstorming, I think, for some of the next phases of that game. And I just thought it was curious to see some of this stuff I completely forgot about. Must have been another mini brainstorming session. I can't remember when I had time to sit here and do this. Looks like some kind of walker. 1, 2, 3, 6-legged walk with carrying a domed city. More unusualness, more brainstorming stuff. I don't know. Looks like someone got into my stuff. It looks like more of the same. More mechs. Never have enough mechs. That's kind of cool. More brainstorming. This is a more interesting thing. I kept drawing this sort of scene over and over. What I had in mind was like the Empire Strikes Back. In the asteroid situation, or the asteroid scene where the Millennium Falcon is fleeing through that dense field of rocks, and then at the end they fly out of that asteroid and there's that monster, of course, that tries to eat them. This would be something sort of inspired by that, I guess. Would be all that you're flying through that dense asteroid field, and then all the asteroids coalesce into this monster, this humanoid being, and just tries to grab the fleeing spacecraft. So this is just one variation of that. More noodling around, weird trees. Okay, this would have been like this was an old image I did probably as a kid, long time ago. Not this one in particular. I redid it, tried to level it up a bit with some updated skills and the ability to use perspective. When I was a kid, I was really into those Terran Trade Authority books. Spacecraft 2000 to 2100, I think it was. Maybe was the name of it. And this was a kind of a rip-off of one of those ships. You have a dense black background with the star flare, lens flare-y stars that were airbrushed on everything. And then here I was messing around with some new scenes. Let me cover that up. This would be the next couple of rooms that would happen in that adventure game. So I guess to reveal the story a bit, your character pops up in the middle of the game. He's not sure what's going on. He's awoken from a clone chamber, and he's wandering this structure. As the story unfolds and you find clues, you realize you're in a derelict ship that is a derelict space hulk that is headed for the sun or drifting into the sun of a given solar system. And then you have to figure out how to escape. Long story short, you have to reactivate a shuttle and escape from the derelict drifting ship that's headed to the sun. And within that solar system, you find a abandoned asteroid or abandoned space station made out of an asteroid. And I was just kind of working out what those rooms would look like. Maybe this would be an animated cutscene where your ship is flying towards it, still flying towards it. And see, I'm not sure how to make the rooms or what they would consist of. That's why I just kind of get all this out to see what would happen, and then, or get all these different scenarios out and play with the look and the frame and the room, because obviously you couldn't really interact. Maybe you could, I don't know. I don't know the purpose of the end means to an end that you might have the character go through in a situation like that. So then this would be it. You find it, you're drifting, you drive towards it or fly towards it. Then you find the docking bay, you land in the docking bay. And there you are, poking around after you've landed. You get a tunnel. Now this could be a room. Just kind of roughing it out. What I'm doing here. And you find this tunnel. This would still be within the docking bay, and this would be the docking bay here. I don't know. Sure, little guy. In proportion to the ship, maybe smaller. Let's see. But I don't know. I keep thinking about and it's probably, oops, it's probably beyond the scope of it, but I just kind of like to have these things worked out. Would be what does this asteroid thing look like? And then I can daydream about it when I'm going about my day. Come up with more ideas related to it, or use it as a sort of a framework for that thought process. All right, so, you could just do simple spheroid. That seems kind of boring though. This would be your docking bay. I don't know, maybe that could work. More asteroids. Just fixated with asteroids, aren't I? That might be okay. Simple, straightforward. But I was thinking maybe something more oblong, or even would that be cool? Some apertures, 2B. And you'd have some garbage on it. Some structures, antennas, of course. Actually a beautiful day out. I'm wearing this hot long sleeve shirt because I got into a tussle with some fire ants, trying to keep them itching. Like a dummy. We're trying to cast some aluminum into the fire ant holes to get like this sculpture that looks like a coral tree. So you pour the molten aluminum into the anthill, and if you're lucky, you get it to go down all the channels in the anthill, and it makes this amazing looking structure because you can see all the channels and tunnels and whatnot that the ants burrow through, and it creates this tree looking thing or piece of coral, which reminds me of something you could maybe paint blue, put it in an aquarium, somebody's fish tank. There's a Etsy idea, maybe. And I think in the story, this would be where I would conclude it because I'm not quite sure where I'm going with this. The overall plot. I do kind of, I guess. I just don't want to reveal too much of it. It's like a big secret. But it's that mystery, the unknown aspect of a sort of that theme of an amnesia patient, figuring out what's going on. And that's sort of the core to the whole adventure plot or game. And the thing is, I really got to write some of this stuff down. I have notes, but they're just very thin, almost for just used to jar my memory as opposed to actually descriptive notes that I could rely on. So very ad hoc. I'm not sure how this is going to turn out, this video. I went ahead and I know I could probably have purchased something, but I made a little gantry to mount this camera. It's a piece of work, man. Some scrap wood that I had laying around from doing some trim in the living room. And this is the kind of goofy thing that I'll do over and over and over 100 times. If I have a post-it note within reach while I'm doing something I don't really want to, sitting in a meeting or whatever, and I'll doodle on it. Yeah, and then your shuttle would be like a wee little thing. You gotta navigate to this place after you find it. I don't know, maybe. I kind of like it. You know, of course, I'm thinking along the lines of sludge voholes. Sludge vohole? I never knew how to say that right. Space Quest 3, Space Quest 3, Space Quest series. Excuse me. Sludge voholes, asteroid base. You see it in Space Quest 2, I think. So what I'm trying to do really better here, more often I guess, is to keep some of these projects moving forward. So often I don't know, I'm a tinkerer, I'm a dabbler, and I don't have any follow through with some of this stuff. I wonder what it would be like if I actually finished something. So that's what I'm trying to do here. Move it forward, even if it's a little bit every day. Move one of these projects forward, whether it's that RPG or some other artwork or the Sierra style game. But I had a little bit of time this morning, so here we are. No, I think this would just kind of, this wouldn't be in the orbit of any planet. It would just kind of be free floating situation. I had read, I was kind of had in the back of my mind, like, would it be something called a cycler? I think it was called a cycler ship or a cycler asteroid, where you would set up a ship or a base that would sort of drift or be on an orbit around the sun, and you would hop on it at a given location, and you would ride it to wherever you're trying to go to. So if you're trying to get from Earth to Jupiter, I guess you would hop on it when it was closest to Earth, and then just kind of like ride it until you got to Jupiter. And in it, you'd have all your amenities, because it would be an immense thing. So you could keep a crew on it, and supplies, food, oxygen, water. Maybe it would be its own little habitat where it would have gardens and farms. Alright, the sun is coming out. Beautiful. And really, this is just to get the idea out, have a little brainstorm. This isn't going to be finalized by any stretch. Who knows, maybe though. I'll scan it in and work it from there in Clip Studio or something, or I could build this in Blender. All right, I think I actually, out of all the different attempts I've had, I think I kind of like this one a lot. I still sort of had another idea to do something like, let me see, a bunch of asteroids sort of strung together with pipes or structures. There's your docking bay. Something like that. I don't know how far I'm going to go with this idea, just kind of roughing it out. I don't know. Something like that, maybe. Maybe if I worked it a little more. Look closer to this. I'm really liking this one though. I don't want to get set too much on one idea though. I'll just keep farting around with this one. But I think I got to go here. All right. Well, if you stuck around this long, I appreciate it. And thanks for watching. I will keep working and doing goofy things like this for all to enjoy.